building in the town. And I happen to know the man who got to be up there and do the slates and lead work, gravy, all the other stuff in terms of that. No! Wesley used to come here. Our neck of the where it was kind of Wesley country, and his home, or one of his homes, where he was down doing the circuit, was the Dragon House Hotel at Washford. Oh, sorry, that's just the Dragon House. But that's what John Wesley used to say. That was his one of his abodes when he was on the circuit. Still a strong Methodist population in Watchet, as well as C of E, and the Baptists are very strong, very young, vibrant group of Baptists. They've got the sanctuary, which is just down in Sloane Street. The Baptist church is, I'm going to get run over here. Legacy Baptist church, which is up there, 18 something or other, was one of the last places Yankee Jack ever sang before he died. And that was an evening of choral music. He had a fantastic voice, so they sang. And right, see that curved roof one with a blue strip across it? That was the Baptist church, and it's got a gallery around it. It's an art studio now. A man called Julian Fraser has it. There's a hell of a lot of work to be done to it. And the manse to the Baptist church is the bungalow on the turning down to the port entrance here. Now we've got that bungalow on the right. That's where the Baptist minister used to be in there. So that's where the Baptist church is there, was. So we're nearly back to where we started. My duties as town crier are many. What I'm doing now is one of them. On the 11th of the 11th, at the 11th hour, I will come here, I will ring the bell, and we will have, well, for the fallen of both walls, for every wall since. And last year we consummated or consecrated, I want to get it right. I got it wrong, didn't I? But anyway, we had a new monument, a new war memorial, but the field, which is the war memorial field, the name of the fallen of the First World War and the Second World War are up in the pavilion on a plaque. So we have got two war memorials. And there's also a plaque inside the Methodist with the name of the fallen. There are a few spelling differences, but this is what we've come up with. And probably one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, of anything I've done through my life, is to read out those names. And all of a sudden, there's a lot of names. And if you just went William G. Bass, William E. Bowman, Ernest W. Binding, all of a sudden you can't say it that back.
You remarked on Binding with the name.
Yes, it's a very old name. Weber, Sully's, yeah, really old names of the town.
And Sully.
And Sully. Well, you see, there's Binders in the First World War, Binders in the Second World War.
And Sully. Is that the Sullys that now the building stuff?
It might be their Dunster Sullys, but what I would say to me as a Milton, I could trace my family roots back 500 years to Nether Stowey. So, and as farmhands used to go from place to place to earn a shilling, it's not very far away, Nether Stowey. And on my other side of the family, on the Thorn side, I could go back 450 years and trace the Thorns back to Withicombe and Roderick. So we didn't travel very far because we had no money. To go to Taunton was like a once in a lifetime, wasn't it? So, yes. It was very hard, and I take this as a compliment, which I have to swallow and say thank you very much. But when I read out the names, I tried to put inflection in my voice, I tried to give it pace, but also slow things up and say every name that it meant something. And our local MP, in Little Granger, came up to me after. He said, you know, it's the best speech and names of words I've ever heard. Because they said you never get that in the Houses of Parliament. So I took that as a compliment. But it was very, very hard. And to say the last one, Arthur T. Webber, I was just about run out because it's quite an emotional thing to do. Because there were people here who were alive to see their loved ones, even from the First World War, who knew their loved ones that never came back. So yes, is supposed to represent the sandbags that you would have in the in the trenches of the First World War. The design of the dove and they tried to do barbed wire, but they're kind of very close to the everlasting link on the Celtic design that was designed by a girl, Towles, from Knights Templar School. Right, I'll touch upon the Knights Templars.
You know, and they're going to talk about having a vertical pier. That'd be great, you know. People talk about going up St. Decumans and looking out over and seeing the vista that we got here. And the vista we got here is fantastic. Go to the music festival. I think you can see 10 or 12 or 13 counties. 4 English, 9 or 10 Welsh. Because of the mountains. The view is fantastic. I know it's a bit breezy up there sometimes, but it's a great place to go and listen to music and watch and see the sunset off just over to the right of Minehead. Marvellous. Marvellous. It was.
Sunset last night.
So, all I can say is, watch it, an untapped gem. It's a living, it's got a balanced community, it's a living community. It's people live here 24/7, 365 days a year. I hate to say it, not a Padstein or a Newquay that is busy in the summer and all of a sudden, oh, they've all gone back to suburbia, if you know what I mean. Nothing against people from suburbia, but a place to live has got to be all the time. And this place is not much more I can tell you about Watch It, unless you've got some more questions.
Well, it's far more interesting than Blue Anchor Bay.
Well, it's why it's called Blue Anchor is when they dropped the anchor in. When they pulled it up, it was blue, and that's from the blue lias that, you know, gets ground down in the silt.
So why is there a blue anchor up the top by the farm
right.
when you come in?
That's where we came in.
I wasn't
The reason being, there was a colour called Watch It Blue, and they used to make a denim, which like your jean, like that man's jean there,
Yes.
which Charles II wore on his as a jacket and had his head chopped off. Hence, I'll give you a fourpenny one. Is 2 groats is a fourpenny one. So make sure it's done in one chop. 4pence. Thank you very much. Fourpenny one. And he wore a denim jacket made of Watch It Blue. If you go to America, say put in Watch It Blue or Google it, the colour will come up. Watch It Blue. It's still on their paint charts, but not on ours. A bit like Bristol Blue and the glass.
Yeah.
So we had Watch It Blue for the clothing. Type of denim.
Yeah, it just seems odd to have an anchor though. You think that blue anchor would have, you know,
Yeah, but
requested it and said,
Well,
can we
possibly,
not have
but
it down
that
our
anchor
end?
came off one of the last boats into the town.
Oh,
You know,
did it?
so that's it. It was in the middle of the East Wharf at one time, and you had a maze to get to it, and it was on a big concrete round plinth. And then when I had to move because of the boats, and that was put up there, and that was done through the council. And that was the nearest blue they could.
Past 4, I know.
About
I'm ever so sorry, but you were a late starter.
I know I was. No, it's been really interesting.
I can only
I want to go down and see it.
I can only give you what I know
No, it's
and
great.
how it's been
Thank you.
told me. Thank you very much, madam. But all I say is, really, I've only just told you a squiggly bit. And there's more coins in Oslo and Scandinavia of the Watch It Mint and the silver penny over there than there's here, because them bloody Vikings, they raided us several times. Okay? But if you go in the museum, they'll give you a replica. You can buy a replica of the silver penny and watch it. So, yeah. There's just so much history here. And the characters, unbelievable.
And you're one of the best, Dave, I reckon.
There's a book, there's 2 books. There's Ben Norman did a book called Come on, Mind Your Back Mike. He's got no number plate, so it means he has lost it, watch it. No. Right, yeah. One by Ben Norman, another one by Leslie Wedley. They're all in the museum. Just think, we're actually treading where Alfred the Great came. We're one of his very important towns, so he would have been here. He would have come and walked where we are now. Yeah. So, that's all right. That's all right.
Makes you proud to live in Watchet, doesn't it?
Oh no. No, you shouldn't really. This is my part of Watch Town. Well, I will buy a pint on it. And in fact, I'm going to go now and buy myself a pint. If you wanted to come with me, sir, you could.
We've got to fill the parking meter.
Okay.
You've nearly cost us a fine.
Oh, sorry.
But not yet.
No. Thank you very much for that.
It's made, you know.
Yeah, it's been very, very interesting. It's been good. Yeah,
I'm
glad we
not
caught
a
you.
professor.
because my punching.
I could tell that.
No, well actually, I'm a Mister. That's higher than a professor because I'm Mr. Mommet. That's my Punch and Judy name, and I do Punch and Judy as another part of what I do.
Gosh.
And I can tell you loads of stories
A
about
man
that
of many
either as well.
parts.
Yes, and a sculptor too.
Is he really? Oh yes, because of the stone.
Sharp,
Yes.
yes. Napoleonic Wars.